Everybody, thank you very much for tuning in today. Today, my guest is one of my lovely coworkers that I used to work with in the human services. And her name is, well, I'll actually let her introduce herself. Would you please introduce yourself to the lovely folks in Radio Land?
Hi, thank you for having me today. My name is Rosalind Mabikas.
Rosalind Mabikas. Isn't that lovely? Why do you sound like a robot? Get loose, lady, get loose. Don't sound...
I know, right? I'm Rosalind Mabikas. I live in Lynn, Massachusetts.
That's right.
And I have been living in Lynn for 14 years. Okay. In fact, since I have been in the United States, I live at the same place.
Okay, all right. So now, Miss Mabikas, but I like to call you Felicity.
Yes, that's my middle name. Yes. It's lovely, and I think
it. I know it. So here, today is just a day that we are getting to know each other. Well, the people outside of my community get to know who you are as a person, and see this spot as a safe place just to chit chat with your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And let them know how certain things you feel and how people may be going through the same struggles that you maybe have gone through, and just to let other females know that they are not alone. So this is the reason why I started this podcast, so that we can get to know each other, talk about things that we may have never even thought about that other people are going through. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I would like to start off with some questions. Would you mind answering some questions?
No, go ahead. We need to share with our lovely friends.
Well, my dear, as you know, this is the title of this podcast is Thick Chicks with a Thought. And it just stems off where I am interested in speaking to friends of different nationalities that I have, and to get to know them on a different level. So the first question I have for you, Miss Felicity, you already told me where you live and how long you've been there. May I ask, what is your ethnic background?
I'm African American. I'm from Africa.
Okay, what part of Africa are you from?
I'm from Congo, Central Africa.
Ooh.
And Congo, my Congo is the small Congo, because there are two Congos. And
oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, most Congolese, you hear somebody from Congo, they are from the big Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which used to be Belgium Congo. My Congo is the French Congo. It's a small country, and next to the big Congo. Actually, it used to be one kingdom. And just when Europeans came to share Africa, they just used the river, the Congo River as a border. But when you stand in my capital, you can see the car running in the other capital.
Oh, really?
Yes, we are the same people, same languages, same food, same culture. We look alike. Only on the administrative level, we have different presidents, different passports, different, but on a daily basis, we cross back and forth.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting. So you tell me there is a Belgium Congo?
And the French Congo.
Oh, but does Belgium speak French as well, right?
Yes, both Congo, we speak French.
Oh.
But we were colonized by France. They were colonized by Belgium.
Aha, okay. Okay.
Well, so I'm from Congo, Brazzaville.
Congo, Brazzaville.
Brazzaville is the capital. So it is a Republic of Congo.
Oh.
And the other, the big Congo, Congo Kinshasa, Kinshasa is the capital. They are Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay. Now, in your Congo, how many, is there different tribes in that particular Congo?
Oh my God, it's a small country, but we have many.
Wow.
tribes and ethnicities and dialects, and we speak like we are close to 500 dialects.
Wow.
Different, yeah, but we use two national languages.
Which is what?
Lingala.
Lingala.
Lingala and Munukutuba.
Oh, so wait. Say that again.
Munukutuba.
Munukutuba.
Yes.
Okay.
But we usually shorten, we say Kituba.
Kituba. Okay.
So we have Lingala and Kituba.
Lingala and Kituba. So do you speak both?
I understand Kituba completely. I speak, but if I speak, I will speak like, a foreign language that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
But I speak Lingala fluently and many other dialects.
Okay, so you speak Lingala. Now, how would you say hello there, neighbor, in Lingala?
Mbote bino bandeko.
Hey, slow down for my listeners, lady. Say that slowly, please.
Mbote bino bandeko.
All right, so I will not be able to say that. I will have to get Google Translate to help me with that. Okay, my dear. So now, when did you, so you said you came here 14 years ago, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can I ask you, what is your fondest memory of Africa?
Oh, I'm going to take my childhood.
Okay. All right.
Yes, my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most beautiful time and moment of my life.
Right.
Yes, because I feel like I was free.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry for my children. I mean, they're in a country where they have food, they won't sleep hungry, maybe, but I feel sorry for them because they don't have the freedom I had.
Oh.
I grew up very free in a way that we could run miles and miles, play on the backyard with friends, and the parent will call you at like lunchtime,
Mm-hmm.
or it is shower time, just to remind you, remember, it's time for shower. You need to take your shower. But if not, we were so free.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents didn't have to be after us for everything. That's the best memory that I have of the Congo. Mm-hmm. We have a big space and just scream, let ourselves go.
Yeah. So would you say that, I know some people may not have the perfect idea of Africa, because as you know, sometimes on media, they usually show African children, mostly in Ethiopia, and no disrespect to Ethiopia, but they mm-hmm. have the children with stomachs all out, flies in their eyes. And I don't think that, not to say that there isn't any hunger and starvation in Ethiopia or in Africa, but I think they depict that particular part of Africa just to play on people's heart. But that's not what it really is. Africa is, I'm assuming, and you can always tell me and my listeners, that it's a beautiful place. I mean, it's just wonderful.
Yes, but I think what is on media, it is what the reporter mm-hmm. or whoever is broadcasting choose to show.
Yeah.
It is not the reality. Mm-hmm. We have good things, bad things, just like here in the United States.
Right.
I feel like homelesses, and I'm like, when I was back in Africa, I thought everything was like I see in Hollywood. When I came here, I was surprised, even not to be like, I can say where I live, the house I live in, my apartment, the apartment I live in, doesn't have anything to have with the house I grew up in. Right. Because the house was big with 5 bedrooms. Mm-hmm. My father was a middle class person. So okay. I didn't like grow up in like poverty or in suffering. I never sleep hungry.
Right.
So there are, of course, cases of anger. No, hunger.
Hunger. Okay.
Yeah, hunger. You need to catch me on that one too. I speak English, but still I
Right.
have this, yes. So it is not the picture they
Right.
want to give of Africa. You know why I took my kids to Africa? They will come here, tell me things that they learn at school, that they see on TV about Africa. Africa. I was like, every time I tell them, it's like they don't really trust me, because what they hear at school, what they see on TV, there
Right.
is no way I tell them that it is not always true. So I have to take them.
Yes.
I took my kid to Africa for themselves to witness. They have version A from me, maybe version B from their school, and I took them for them to make their own version C.
Okay. Now, do you have family, still have family in Africa?
Everybody from my family is in Africa, in Congo.
Oh, wow. All right. Now, do you have family in other parts of Africa or just mainly in Congo?
No, mainly in Congo.
Okay.
If they are in other parts of Africa, maybe they went for a walk or for something, just like I'm here. But if not, everybody's in Congo. Mother, I lost my father already, but last year. But mother, father, brother, cousin, uncle, auntie, everybody's in Congo. I'm here only with my husband.
Okay. Now, do your children speak? Oh, please forgive me.
Lingala.
Lingala, yes.
They understand a little bit, and I think they speak more French because I did it on purpose. French.
You have them speak French on purpose and not Lingasa?
Yeah, because I wanted them to communicate with other. French is our national language.
Okay.
When you start going to school, you learn French. You study in school in French, you work in French, you professional in French and everything. So most people speak even French to their kids at home before they start school.
Yeah.
So we are far away here. And I want them to speak the language that they can communicate with everybody back home and someplace else, because my husband's family, the whole family is in France.
Oh, okay.
So for my kids to communicate both with the father side and my side and with everybody, French, everybody can understand. But Lingala in Congo, yes, but in France, like their cousins and uncles and aunties, they can speak Lingala too, but their cousins that are being born in France and I don't know what things are there, they speak French. So, but they understand Lingala.
Okay. So
yeah.
I have some a little more questions just in terms of in Africa and how you felt when you came here. So what was your main drive? What was your purpose to come to America?
I came to America. I didn't have any American dream because I didn't have American dream. I was living my dream just back in Congo.
Yes.
I was doing something I loved. I liked it. And
what was that? What were you doing?
I mean, I was a journalist.
Yes, that's what I was waiting.
And I was a journalist, and I was publishing a female magazine. It was the only one for my country.
Wow.
And I got the idea because I was not happy with everything I saw when I was growing up. Like in fairness of women being a certain way, put in a certain spot. And I was like, this is not fair. I don't want to be this kind of woman. I mean, I want to be a wife. I want to be a mother. But I don't want to take all this upon me because this is not fair.
All right.
So,
So can I ask you this? Now, did I know that in some cultures that African women are not African women, but African men have two wives. Was that the case for your father?
my father had two wives, yes.
Okay.
But
Now, could you just explain? Because some of our listeners may not understand why you guys have two wives. Some people,
yes. I mean, people, men, it was not for every man to have like two wives.
Right.
It used to be a culture of noble people, like the village chief, the king, the princesses, and they had like they could have 2 or 3 wives. Why? Because it was not like allowed to them to cheat.
Right.
Because they say,
could you
a man
louder for me?
Huh?
You speak a little louder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was said then that a man within a woman's arms can just reveal everything. So every time a chief is in love with a woman, that woman will take an aside, trend, and then become a second or third wife of that king or chief. And because she's trained, she can keep the secret for, the country or the village or the kingdom secret. So the king could not just go with any woman for one night and go left and right, because it was not safe for the sake of the kingdom or the country. Then the culture continue. Now, other men who were like able to afford it, they start having also 2, 3 kids. 2, 3 wives. 2, 3 wives, because they could afford it. And then it just grew to, when you give people permission to do things, they exaggerate.
Of course.
And then also some women accept that condition because, then women used to have like up to 10 kids.
Yeah.
My mother had 8. So.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm a firstborn of 8 children.
Oh, wow.
So with 8 kids, she had to manage a household, cook, take care of the kids, do everything. And then she's exhausted at the end of the day. She needs to take care of her husband because she cannot ignore her husband's needs too.
Right.
But he's out looking for money, bringing food home all day long. And when he comes after eating, he needs to rest, and he expects the wife to pay attention to him. But the wife is also exhausted with a long day with kids screaming and everything. So it was kind of like a break for women that the husband shares days. One here, one over there, or 2 days here, 2 days over there. And that's the way it used to be. So they will take time, or sometimes during maternity times, so they can know that their husband is somewhere with somebody who's kind of a sister. It used not to be competition, like today we see, oh, I want that man because I want all he has. I don't care about his wife or whatever he has before.
Right.
Even if they build that life together. No, it was something like helping each other in the community. It was kind of like that. I'm not saying that I'm gonna accept it if
so initially it was just a sister, a neighbor that's helping the main wife, and it wasn't taken as infidelity. It wasn't taken as, hey, he's cheating on me. It was like more like a helper. Am I correct?
Like a helper, yes. And the first wife always had like the last decision if there was a decision to make in the family. So why will she not want the other who's coming like helping her? And for her who coming in second position also, she accepted the situation, and she accepted to put herself It's just like you have a husband. Here I see people, they have a husband with a family, everything, and the husband cheating or having a child with another lady, and that lady is under the shadow. It's just for material. And she's helping that couple stay.
Right.
Because the lady is working hard in the family business, the husband working hard. If that lady was not on the shadow, the maid or whatever, I don't know, because here we hear these wealthy people having kids with maids and everything. She's helping the couple to stay.
Okay. So can I ask you this? I know that we talked about Africa and just trying to get to know you, and I appreciate that. Okay. One of the things I wanted to ask is, how will you leave a legacy for your children to know about you, your ethnic background? How do you plan on leaving a legacy for your children?
To tell you the truth, I spend my time talking to my kids, explaining things. I was maybe privileged, I call it. Maybe compared to life here,
right?
It's maybe nothing, but living back in Congo, the way I think I was like privileged compared to my friends or other people around me. So I went through hardship too, I know, but I call it privilege because I'm grateful for what I had. I'm not doing a complaint for what I didn't have.
Right.
So my legacy, the legacy I'm gonna leave to my kids, I talk to my kids, I explain things to them. And if I can show them how it is. For the language, I speak to them. They know, because when we're in public, definitely I speak to them in Lingala. They understand. I don't go long sentences, just little short to call the attention, but I speak to them. I explain how I grew up, how people are. I took them to Congo. So for them to see what I'm talking about. Okay. I leave my legacy. They are American with the culture and everything here. But I make sure that they know their parents came from a place that has a different culture and they have to navigate both. Okay, very good. So now let's get into the nitty and the gritty, your relationship with your husband. Yes. So you've been with your husband for 14 years. Yes. Okay, can you give our listeners the reason why you love your husband? I think I love my husband and I do respect him as a man because we knew each other in high school. My husband is my high school sweetheart. Okay. Yes. And after graduating from high school, he came here in this country. And I stayed back 8 years later. He came to marry me. He kept his commitment. He came back. He came back. He made sure I was there waiting, not, yes, because he kept the connection. And then he came marry me. Then I'm like, okay, this man really loves me. That's why I didn't think twice before turning my back to everything I was doing to come here. So I love him because I see that he really loves me because he didn't have a reason to come back to Congo. Right. His family lives in France now since we have multiple civil war. Right. But he came back to Congo where he has basically no direct family. So, yeah. All right. Now, how do you and your husband, I know that being in 14 years and now living in America, which is very different in Africa, how do you guys keep the love going? You know, some of our listeners like, oh yes, my husband there for 15 years, 20 years, this man, he gets me online there, blah, blah, blah. How do you keep the spice working in your relationship? I think they all hit us on our nerves. I don't know if there is a place where, I don't know, maybe there are luckiest one who never got hit under the nerves. It's an ongoing experience. It's an ongoing experience? Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
It is an ongoing experience. Okay, so let our listeners know what's one pet peeve of your husband that he does that get less like makes you want to choke him.
Quietness.
Quietness.
I mean, not quietness, but if he is not speaking or responding back, he's a quiet person.
Yeah.
It takes time to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And I am like a heart quick person. When something is burning in my heart, I open up to him, and I want him to think, of course, but to respond. But it takes time. Sometimes before I used to say he doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing like he thinks it true and he wanna come with something that can be satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not always that. So and I'm like all this time just to come back with this response, and it just hurts me even more. That's the thing that I go, But if not on a daily basis, there are very sweet things, and there are also bitter ones that you need to wash off your heart, or you cannot keep going.
Okay. Now, now you said sweet thing. So what is the one sweet thing that if he does it, you just melt in his arms?
You know what? I didn't grow up here.
Yep.
I didn't grow up here.
Yes.
As an African woman living in this country with my husband,
yes,
I find myself very lucky to have a husband who can help at home. Here, for American women, is granted.
Right.
It is education. You do 50-50 everything at home. You do this at home. But me, I think the fact that my husband take the trash out, help with picking, dropping the kids, because all those things, my mother did them. All my father did was going to look for whatever we needed to eat, bring home. And it happens like that in Africa today. It doesn't matter, not in Africa, I'm not gonna talk Africa in general, I'm gonna talk in Congo where I have experience. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how much you bring home, you fulfill your role as a wife.
Yes.
He can pay the bills or not, he won't cook. And like shower the kids or sweep the house, or it's rare. So me, I think it's sweet. Like even if I get mad at him and I'm like, you know what? I get this done, and because I know my community here too, men live here in a country where we hear every day about women's rights and everything, but they still behave like they were in Africa.
Right, right.
I'm not saying our tradition is bad, no. My mother did everything at home. She didn't work an hour outside of the house. It was our job just doing that.
Okay. Now, there's since you said about doing the job and having women rights, now do you feel that when you came to America, you lost some of your culture, traditions?
I don't think so. For me.
Okay.
No, for me, because I didn't come here like I was 18 or something. No. I came here, I was already a grown-up woman. I mean, late 20. I came here with 30, to tell you. So I already knew like kind of everything. I was back in Africa. I was put in a box of rebellious woman.
Yes.
Because I didn't accept certain things, and I'm like, you a man, you want to marry me, you want me. This one, I want to accept it, this one. And I remember people used to tell me, even my own mother used to tell me, and so you won't find a man because a man a man doesn't want a woman like that.
Right.
A woman, you go work, you go do this. So, so for me, I didn't lose. I don't think I lost. For me, it helped me just feel comfortable with what I was thinking of a marriage supposed to be.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, knowing how it is in Africa and knowing how it is in America, are you afraid of your children growing up here in America? Would you want them, okay, here's the question. Would you want them to grow up in America or in Africa? If you had the choice.
If I had the choice, if I have the choice, I think for now, this is the right place now. If it was the time of my childhood, I would want them over there. But for now, I think this is the right place.
Okay.
And I don't know, I can feel sorry for them socially. The way life is here, I really feel sorry for them because I like it. You miss what we got when we were children. But also life is changing. It's the time, the way that they are gonna be. But I think they're missing on a lot. I think they're missing on a lot. Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is not my absolute last question, but I just want to know, how is your relationship spiritual? And is your family spiritual as well?
Oh, okay. That is something, it is like the anchor of our family. The thing that makes me, even with my husband, stick together, it's because we built our relationship on a foundation that every time things go crazy,
right,
we know where to go back. It is our traditional culture, and most it is God. The word of God. We Christian, we believe in the Bible.
Right.
So every time we go back to the Bible, and I teach it to my kids. I teach to my kids, I tell them, no matter what, whatever they're doing, they need to know that there is something that I call God, that they hear with their culture or whatever they can call cosmos, universe, or whatever. There is something bigger than them that makes them be, and that they need to follow. And when I hear, like you asked me the question about legacy, most of the time when I hear legacy here, I think of in terms of money, whatever wealth you're gonna leave to your children.
Right.
I am not a kind of parent that I'm gonna prepare the future for my kids.
Right.
If God gives me more, I will prepare the future for my kids. But I mostly prepare my kids